What's up guys, Mickle here, and there has been a ton happening in the Ripple SEC case over the last 24 hours. We have had some massive amicus briefs filed in defense of Ripple in the current Ripple SEC case, and guys, we have learned some explosive things completely exposing the SEC. Guys, in this video, I want to show you some key points from a few amicus briefs you guys have probably not seen, and it's going to make you more confident than ever that the SEC has zero chance in declaring XRP a security. Guys, I also want to show you something very interesting that David Schwartz tweeted out, what he could be alluding to, because guys, it seems like everything could be lining up perfectly for a settlement. We're going to go over that, but at the end of the video, we're going to go over one last trick the SEC could have up their sleeve. Guys, make sure to stick around for this whole thing. This is one you are not going to want to miss. Like always, guys, your support means so much to this channel. If you want to see more videos just like this, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button down below and turn on bell notifications. These three simple things will go such a long way in helping this channel grow, and it really does mean so much to me. If you guys are ever looking for a good place to buy some XRP, make sure to check out the link for Uphold down in the description below. Uphold is my favorite exchange and a great place to buy and sell XRP. With that said though, guys, let's jump right into the video, and I hope you guys enjoy the content. So guys, real quick, MooMoo is running an awesome promotion right now that could win you guys a lot of money. If you sign up with MooMoo using the link in the description of this video, you could win up to 15 free stocks. Guys, MooMoo is an awesome trading platform. It's a great place to buy and sell stocks. They have advanced charting tools, a global investment community, a visualized way of understanding companies' financials, and real-time level 2 market data. Guys, MooMoo is an excellent place to buy and sell stocks. It's a great brokerage, and I highly suggest you check out MooMoo and get your free stocks now. So guys, for those of you who don't know, we actually had 4 different amicus briefs filed in support of Ripple to this case last night. Guys, it's pretty funny that we are seeing all this support come for Ripple and no one is coming to support the SEC. I think this case is really going to go a long way in killing a lot of the tribalism in the cryptocurrency industry, and we're really seeing that play out right now. We are seeing a lot of different people that in the past didn't get along with Ripple come to the support of Ripple, and guys, I think it's going to go a long way in really showing everyone that we need to work together to overcome different rogue agencies like the SEC and really allow cryptocurrencies to reach their long-term potential. So I want to start off this video by going over a very unexpected amicus brief that we got last night, and that was from Coinbase. The reason why it was so unexpected that Coinbase would file an amicus brief in this case was because they actually delisted XRP when this case was first brought against Ripple. I figured if Coinbase had the nerve to delist XRP, they were looking to try to stay as far away from this case as possible. It really shocked me that they would go out of their way to delist XRP and turn a lot of their users against them, and then also go against the SEC at the same time by filing this amicus brief. Well, after reading through this amicus brief, you can tell that Coinbase really toned it down in this thing. They likely had a lot of evidence proving that the SEC knew that XRP was not a security in 2019 when Coinbase originally listed XRP, but none of that evidence actually showed up in Ripple's amicus brief. On the other hand, though, Coinbase did go a long way in really just showing the court that there is no way Ripple should have ever had fair notice that the SEC would randomly come out one day and call XRP a security. The reason I say randomly is because the SEC has known about XRP since 2013. They allowed a lot of different exchanges in the US to literally go public in the US market trading XRP, and the SEC never opened their mouths. Obviously, no one had any idea that the SEC would just randomly say one day that they knew this entire time XRP was a security. They just didn't feel like telling anyone, and Coinbase makes that very clear in their amicus brief. One of the ways they do this is they actually bring up the fact the last time the SEC ever gave any clear guidance on digital assets was Bill Hinman's speech. So whether or not the SEC has tried to separate themselves from this speech in the past, it's kind of irrelevant because the SEC hasn't given us any information since then. Because of this, Coinbase is saying, well, based on the last time the SEC ever gave anyone clear guidance on digital assets, well, it looked like at this time the SEC was saying different decentralized cryptocurrencies like XRP would not be declared a security. I think this is a pretty good point and really just looks at the Hinman speech in a different light. Clearly, this is the only thing anyone was ever looking looking at the time, and it made it clear that most cryptocurrencies like XRP would not be declared securities. Ultimately, I think it says a lot coming from Coinbase also, because Coinbase was doing a lot of research to study which cryptocurrencies should be securities and which ones shouldn't. Clearly, if Coinbase went out of their way to list something like XRP, it's really going to show the judge that almost everyone in the market at the time agreed with Ripple's assumption that XRP was not a security. Overall, there was nothing overly shocking in this brief like some of the other things we're going to get into later in this video, but I still think it did go a long way in just showing the court, hey, we are another massive player in this industry, and there was no way this company Ripple had fair notice. None of the other Amicus briefs really did focus on fair notice, so I really do think this Coinbase Amicus brief will play a role in this case. I just think they really could have made it a lot more hard-hitting, but they are a publicly traded company. They likely didn't want to piss off the SEC too much. So let's move on, and I want to go over another pretty interesting Amicus brief before we get into something pretty mind-blowing, and this was out of the CCI, the Crypto Council for Innovation. I've never even heard of them. I read through their Amicus brief. It was pretty exculpatory towards the SEC. It was really just going at the SEC for trying to stifle innovation and how hypocritical the SEC has been over the years. But I thought they made a pretty interesting point, and Sherry did too. The CCI points out that the SEC has repeatedly said over the years that they do not think BTC is a security, but the SEC never actually goes out of their way to say what about Bitcoin makes it a non-security. This is a pretty massive issue for the SEC because they are saying in this case that Ripple should have known that XRP was a security, but the SEC never actually goes into any detail on what makes something a non-security. We know we have seen the Hinman test before in the past. The SEC walked away from this, and now the entire market is just looking at these different cryptocurrencies, and no one knows what the SEC is thinking. When the SEC brought this case, they accused Ripple of fraud, and they accused both Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larsen of unregistered security sales, but they made it sound like a criminal act. They made Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larsen sound like scammers and made it sound like they knew since day one there was no question that XRP was a security. Meanwhile, the SEC is running around labeling different cryptocurrencies as non-securities and not telling anyone how they came to that determination. I think this just goes a long way in undermining the credibility of the SEC. When the SEC brought this case, a lot of people just assumed that the SEC was in the right here, but the more we dig into it and see stuff like this, we just see how inconsistent the SEC has been. There is no way Ripple could have ever known that the SEC was one day going to take an action like this, and if anything, it looked like XRP was much less of a security than other cryptocurrencies the SEC had already deemed compliant. This is just another point that the court is going to look at and really question the motive for why the SEC brought this case. And guys, this is the last thing the SEC wants to happen, because the more you dig into the true reasons why the SEC really brought this case, the darker and darker it gets for the agency. So guys, now I want to move on and go over my favorite line from any Amicus brief, and this Amicus brief was actually out of Val Hill Capital, and guys, take a look at this. In my opinion, this is just one of the worst things for the SEC to date. This is absolutely crazy, and this just shows more than anything that the SEC did not bring this case because they thought XRP was a security. They did not bring this case to protect retail investors. They brought this case for a completely different reason, and it is completely inconsistent to what the SEC is supposed to be doing as a government agency. Guys, take a look at this. This is absolutely awesome. This is from Val Hill Capital, and they said, for example, on June 6, 2018, the then SEC Commissioner Jay Clayton described cryptocurrencies like XRP as a replacement for traditional currencies in an interview with CNBC. And we all know that Jay Clayton is the one that brought this case. Well, guys, take a look at what Jay Clayton describes as a compliant cryptocurrency and a cryptocurrency that the SEC views as a security, because what you're going to see here is, guys, Jay Clayton has always known that XRP was not a security. Take a look at this. This is crazy. Cryptocurrencies. These are replacements for sovereign currencies. Replace the dollar, the euro, the yen with Bitcoin. That type of currency is not a security. Exactly what XRP is. A token, a digital asset where I give you my money and you go off and make a venture, and in return for giving you my money, I say you can get a return. That is a security, and we regulate that. Guys, live on CNBC, Jay Clayton says that XRP and XRP's use case make it not a security. The same guy who brought the Ripple SEC case. Guys, it does not get worse than this. I am so happy that Judge Torres is going to see this, because this just shows that the SEC has no idea what they are talking about and should have never brought this case in the first place. Guys, that's why I think David Schwartz tweeted out, "It's Halloween, but why does it feel like Christmas?" Guys, the things we are seeing in these amicus briefs just blow up the SEC's case. They are going to have no chance when Judge Torres reads these and understands that the SEC themselves knew XRP wasn't a security. The SEC brought this case for some other reason. We don't even have to go into that anymore. The only thing that we care about is that XRP is in no way a security. Well, guys, after that, David Schwartz left us with one more hint. He said, "Did you ever think that you had already opened all your presents and then you discovered there is one more hiding under the tree?" Well, guys, he tweeted this out after we saw all the amicus briefs come in. So are we going to see one more amicus brief, or is there something else we are waiting for? Are we waiting for a settlement to finally happen in this case? Guys, if this case does not settle, the SEC is going to have to answer all of these questions, and I have no idea how they're going to do this. Guys, I expect this case to settle. I do not think the SEC can fight this case any longer, but we haven't seen one yet. Maybe it goes the distance. If it does go the distance, I feel just as confident. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for coming. I hope you enjoyed this update. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe. It really does mean so much. And for now, Mickle out.